Game Doctor here. This time, especially with all of our talks, this is more just a creative space, and I only ask you guys to try things on. I'm not asking you to adopt them. I'm not asking you to believe them. Naturally, when you hear things that maybe challenge what you normally think or your normal process, we usually take that as a negative thing. Challenge is negative. With this work, it works best if you just try it on. Just try it on. See how it feels. See how it looks. Think about it, and then put it back after. Throw it away. Who cares, right? That's all I ask. I invite you guys to try this out. Try these things out. It's usually supposed to just lead to some source of power, is what it's for, more than prove something. All right? So today, we're going to be talking about what I'm calling the mental box. The mental box. This is what I've been going... What the mook? Going over this weekend. I don't know how to really draw, so I don't know how to open this box. Shout outs to the artists that know how to picture things in their head. You know what? I got this. Went to school. These have to be parallel. Eh? I mean, it's not like open. I don't know how to make it open, but more like a treasure chest, maybe. But that's fine. Sometimes your mental box could be a mental treasure chest. You guys could decorate it with whatever you want. You know, picture it in your head for a second. You know, decorate it. What does your guys' box look like? Your mental box. Some of you might have like a Lay's can. You know, some of you it might be like a vault, right, with like a big door on it. Deck it out with some gems, whatever you want. Where's this precision art quality in our work calls? Sorry, guys. I get distracted easily. All right. So on a serious note, today's the mental box I've been studying over the weekend. And I want to call this like our comfort box, right? The things we know, the things we understand, how we think. It's our mental box. And what happens here is when we acquire and run into new things, let's just say this is a new thing. We then take this thing and we fit it into our box, right? Somewhere in our box that makes sense, that follows the rules or logic, things like that, right? And it started to dawn on me, like, this is very normal. This is human, but we see it everywhere, right? And so naturally, I can apply it to our industry, the industry that I love, which is naturally what I do. If you love something else, you can always apply it somewhere else as well. This is just how humans work. And we take that something and we fit it in our box. You see this very easily. A very easy way to see this portrayed is in our genres, right? You can see our language, our genres. Everything is a roguelike, right? When we take it and we make it make sense in our head, right? So this is roguelike too, right? Roguelike, right? And eventually that word loses its meaning, right? We just fit it into the box that we already know. We oftentimes, and what's a lot more challenging, is growing that box of understanding. Challenging our way of thought, right? That's a lot more challenging. We don't like this process of expanding the box can be very confronting or vulnerable. Learning more, your understanding shifting, right? Something that you once understood, now kind of telling yourself, maybe I can understand it better, or maybe I don't understand it. That's very scary for people, right? And so you can see our genres don't evolve well, or we just want to call it something that we understand, and this just happens everywhere, right? The I understand things this way. This is our box. And it wasn't until I had a lot of breakthroughs in my college years where people like these trained professionals like warped my brain, where I fell in love with the process of expanding my box and understanding my viewpoints, how I think about it, the process. And today we'll call it the process. Fell in love with the process. All right. And that's how I got here today. You guys can see I'm constantly challenging myself and my understanding of my craft, what I do. And I love it. And it's leading to all these breakthroughs that I think are creating a ripple effect, what I call expanded results. It's results for people that produce results. So for me, it's expanded results. It's a ripple effect. And I think that's how we'll change an industry and empower people. So I want to talk about this today. And there's going to be, I have a couple other examples of, you could see other things besides genres of like how this shows up, right? Our understanding. But one of the popular ones when I started is people putting me in a consultation box, right? You consult, that's what you do. And it never stood right with me. I don't know why. I had to do some research this weekend and, you know, kind of dig deep why it doesn't sit right with me. Consulting is not it. I know it's not it. I know it in my heart of hearts. And, you know, people are like, yeah, no, it's consulting. And what I realized this weekend is that's just what they're used to. And that fits in their box. Their box is not expanding. They're fitting me in their box, right? You consult. And so today I want to invite you guys into a really cool perspective that I learned over the weekend. And after this, it's going to be so irrefutable that now you will have to challenge yourself into why you believe that, right? It's going to be the turning point, right? And that's what the point of these calls are, is to offer a turning point, right? Like, wait a second, what if I'm not right? Oh my God, right? Now I would have to actually make a bigger argument of why I think I'm right, because it makes no sense, right? It's almost like that. It's almost that irrefutable to me. And it really resonated with me this weekend. I got slides for you guys today. Check it out. I'm of course in the way. God damn it, SD. We're leveling up. We're always leveling up. Love the process, baby. Do I want to flip it horizontal or vertical? There we go. Fall in love with the process, baby. All right, let me just get out of your guys' way and we'll go through this. All right. So I did some research. What is consulting, right? And what is consulting? Asking ChatGPT, looking in Google and stuff like that. And they all pointed towards the same things. Oriented towards providing actionable solutions, right? The consultant is providing actionable solutions. Here you go. Here is your solution. That's what you want. Here it is. It's yours. Go do this. Take this pill. Call me in the morning. Helps with execution. The execution of, right? Here is the result. This is what you need to do. The expertise to solve specific problems or achieve goals quickly, often without the transformational focus. That one resonated with me heavy when I read that. Without the transformational focus. You see, we live in a world where, of course, people are going to put you in the box that they understand, especially with what we're used to on the market. Think about it. Early access, right? There's no transformation. There is people telling you things. Until that one person tells you something that you agree with and you do, right? You are being told things. We don't like this. Do this. Be more like this. And then eventually you do one. There is no transformational boom, right? You're not empowered after. Consulting, you can see there's like a root word here, consult, to consult, seek info or advice. It started to become so clear to me to seek info. I'm looking for the answer to my problem here. All right. And you know, like in life, it started to resonate with me where it almost reminds me when you look deeper of that chase of like, well, I'm going to be happy when. I will be happy when, right? That solution, that thing that will solve our problems. When I get that new job, I will be so happy. When I get that perfect someone, when I have that perfect husband or wife, I will be happy. When this problem gets out of my way, when this person leaves my job, I will be happy. If everyone gets out of my way on the road, I will be happy. We're looking for a solution. It's not the direction. It's not pointed this way. It's pointed that way. Give us this. Get this out of my way. To seek info or advice, here is what you need to do, so do it. And the word transformational really resonated with me. And forever, people keep putting me in this box because that's their understanding and how they've been treated. That is what they're used to. They don't know a bigger conversation. They don't know that there is transformation waiting to happen. We're used to people just telling us things, just shouting at us. But I need to encourage, and I'm just asking you again to try it on. What if that were the training wheels? Just for a second, imagine that wasn't powerful. Imagine that that was not effective. Imagine that was playing in the kiddie pool, just for a second. And kind of ponder what it would be like if you were around something more powerful, or instead of people just giving you solutions and telling you what to do, they were offering to work with you to push you to your highest levels, a transformational difference. What would that be like? And then I versed it against coaching, because again, this was always people's conversation, and I didn't realize this is their box. Coaching. The process with partnering to achieve personal goals by providing training, guidance, and support. You can see all aiming to unlock maximum potential. As you read this first part here, you can start to see that there's a shift. One of them is the focus, the magnifying glass of giving you a solution. Here you go, telling you what to do. Here's what you need. Take this path and you will get there. And one of them seems like it's focused on you, not the solution. It's providing you and empowering you with the tools that you need to overcome this. Because when you have that transformation, you won't need the answer anymore. You're the product. Assists in developing skills to solve current and future problems with the utilization of different strategies. Current and future, that one hit me. It's not get this out of my way. Man, this game would just be perfect if I could just solve this issue I ran into, or this design issue. All right, so you would get a consultant, give me the answers, and then you're good to go, and then you run into another problem down the road, and I'll just get a consultant again, right? Give me the answers here. What's going on? But you could see here, imagine developing the skills to solve your current and future problems because now you are empowered. What would that be like? What would that be like for you? Have you tried that out yet? And what is keeping you from it? Do you think that's impossible? Does it not exist? You can see with the process, it's focused on the personal development of the client, and their growth is the top interest. This got me emotional when I was learning about this, because it, again, made me not crazy. Because I knew something was wrong every time somebody tried to shove me in their box. They tried to belittle me, not on purpose. Not on purpose, but that's their mind. That's what they're used to. That's their box. And I read this, and any of my clients would tell you they are the interest. I always start my new client calls and discovery calls saying, I'm not here to fix your product. I'm here to empower you. Do I have any clients here today where I've told you this? That I said, your products will get better as a consequence, but I'm here to empower you. I want to give you the skill set, a new skill set. So everything that you touch will be better. That's how we will change an industry, not by giving answers. The interest is them, their growth. It's a tailored experience, personalized, tailored. Somebody creating a relationship with you to listen to your strengths and weaknesses. Tailored to you, where you are the talent. Not people barking at you and shouting at you. I understand that is the process that we became used to on the market. We think that's the norm. And I am so sorry. I've also, for years and years and years, I get it. I'm the consumer, and I get why that just seems that's what we have. That's the route. But I want to encourage you guys to kind of see past that. What if that weren't effective? What if that was pale in comparison? What if it was goddamn pale in comparison? Like tasting fake gummy bears compared to the real ones. And you're like, ugh. What if it was about your growth and your breakthroughs? Rather than giving answers, a coach will encourage reflection and help you identify your own path forward. This one resonated with me. Again, I'm going to show you guys how it relates. It's a lot harder in real life when people are locked in their mindset. I had a response over the weekend that I didn't respond to because it would require them a deeper conversation to even understand how they respond to things. And again, the point is not the person. I said, imagine for a second that this was overcomplicating. And their point was not to overcomplicate things. And I said, imagine for a second even this was overcomplicating. Hire a game doctor. It's that simple when you think about it. Saying my line, my quote. Anyway, and what they say is a natural response. I don't believe it was aggressive. Who knows? Some of us like making the games ourselves, actually. But thank you. Maybe a little bit derogatory, maybe, right? Maybe a little bit of, who knows? But that's not the point. That's the small conversation. Some of us like making it ourselves, thanks. And again, it really hit me that this is our world, right? That no one knows better. No one's going to come tell me how to do my craft. I'm an artist. No one knows better than me. No one knows better than me, right? Of course. And it reminds me of going back here, right? They think somebody's going to come along and tell them what to do because that's what they're used to. That's what this world is. That's what this industry is someone's going to tell me what to do. And they probably don't even know better. 95% of the time, they don't. Right? We look at these early access forums, right? They know better. Just add online multiplayer, Deb. It's really not that hard, right? Some of us like to make our own games. Do you think they're going to go on to release things and not listen to the community? Do you think they weren't inspired by predecessors and the other games on the market? You see, there is no such thing as this self-made man. There is no self-made man. You're not doing it yourself already. But also this world of somebody's going to think they're going to tell me what to do. You see here with the Game Doctor work and why it's really resonating with people that try it, is it's not here to give you answers. And again, this resonated with me. It was like my script right in front of me and I never looked it up. But I think it's because people kept talking their box onto me. And it was right here. Here's my goddamn advertising. Rather than giving it answers, I could say the Game Doctor will encourage reflection to help you identify your own path forward. What would that be like for you? Imagine being able to go down the road with confidence in your design and knowing that it will be a successful game. What would that be like for you? I know that you guys haven't experienced that yet because we're used to just being barked at. What would that open for you? One of the common things my clients say is, SD, I hate you. I feel like you opened my mind. You shifted my brain. I feel like they experienced this breakthrough where they feel empowered. Not that someone came and told them what to do. There's a reason why people, after they get consultation and somebody tries to tell them what to do, they come to me and say, I haven't experienced this. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Check in with you and hold you accountable for taking actions towards goals with help to stay motivated and committed to the process. Again, it reminds me, someone that has your back, that you are of the utmost of interest, not the solution. A powerful coach empowers you to make decisions and own your progress rather than providing solutions. I wanted to end on that one. That one hit me. Empowers you to make decisions and own your progress. Own your progress. Own your level ups. Rather than just providing solutions. That is a small conversation. That is not how we will change the industry. That is not how we will create your success. We're here to empower you to unlock your truest potential. Some people can't even wrap their head around that. Imagine for a second. Why can't they wrap their head around it? Well, there's two bubbles here. We all know, right? And we don't even realize it. There's the things we know. Chat, what are some things that you guys know? What are some cool things you know about? Anyone know about marine life? Anyone know a lot about space or planets? Design, film design? Amusement park design? I'm sure there's a lot of unique things you guys know about. Maybe we have some chefs. Maybe you know a lot about cooking and culinary and palettes. You know about how the eyeball works. I don't even know much. I know very little about that, actually. I know it's reflected upside down, I think. But I'll tell you what. That brings me to the other box. What you know you don't know. I know that I only know a little bit about the eye and how it works. That I don't know all the parts. I know I don't know a lot about space or sea life. I know an okay amount, but I know I don't know a lot. I know I don't know anything about rocket science. Or like how physics work, the deep understanding of physics. I read a book about early civilization, pre-pottery, after the last ice age. Some neat stuff about where it all started. And I didn't even know there was a study like that or an interest, right? But you just taught me something that I didn't know. I didn't know, right? I didn't know that. So everyone works around this box, the things you know and the things you know you don't know. There's another box here. There's another circle here. What you don't know that you don't know. And this circle is always bigger than the rest. But a lot of people forget that. There is a world out there that you don't know until somebody talks to you about it or brings it up. Like pre-pottery, after the last ice age. Now, if you didn't talk about that, I wouldn't even realize I know nothing about it. Now, I want you guys to ponder for a second, what would work be like if it started to open your eyes to new things you don't even know you don't know about your design and your game design and success in the gaming market? I want you guys just to even ponder for a second. For a second, put aside, this guy is full of shit. Put it aside for a second and try this on. What would this open up for you? What if for a second, the market wasn't so unstable and a huge gamble? What if for a second you can know where your game was going to launch and what people were going to say about it before you even created the demo? What would that conversation open for you? What kind of empowerment or certainty would it give you? Do you think it would remove a lot of stress? What would this conversation be like? You see, we forget that there's a whole world of things we don't know that would shadow over the other two circles. It would shadow over it. I'm in love with this part. I'm in love with it. I created a business around it. for me to do my job, I have to show up every day in class and keep expanding my box of what I don't know and unplug from what people think they know. I hear things like tutorials are just hard, or the gaming industry is just random. You got to get lucky. It's just algorithms or wish lists. I hear all of these things. And then I dive in and I realize that we just adopted that. Somebody told us that and we started believing it. And a lot of it's not true. I've realized that a lot of it is not true. And when my clients experience that, when they experience the Game Doctor work, it blows their mind. They start thinking about design differently from things that they now know they don't know, or they explore a new space because before they had no idea. Because if they knew that they didn't know about it, they would have started to learn. If I knew I didn't know about the tools to make a successful game and not leave it to chance or randomness or algorithms, if I knew I didn't know about it and that there was a solution out there, I would seek it because I know I don't know about that skill set, right? I would seek it. Just like if you don't know about marketing, I promise you, you probably seek it at some point. Oh, let me learn a little bit about marketing because you know that you don't know about it and that you need it. What if there was another tool that you needed? What would that be like? That was there to empower you. What would that world be like? You see, so when I look back at this, some of us like making our own games, thanks. I want to help these people. Make your own game. Who's going to take that from you? What are you scared of? What would empowered you look like? Right? Being able to break free. What would somebody that has your back and wanted to unlock your truest potential look like? What would that look like? I had a client over the weekend say, "Hey, I want to Game Doctor. You've done a lot. I want to throw you in the credits. How should I put you in there?" And I said, "The Game Doctor is fine, and I have a logo for you if you need it." And they got back to me, and the box thing happened again. And they said, "Well, listen, I generally credit people like this, like illustration blank, right?" Again, fitting into their box. This is how I generally do it. Gameplay consultant, the Game Doctor. And notice how they had to put a box first. Something that they understand. It can't be something new, right? It's not letting me screenshot for you guys. And I said, listen, if you need to fit it in that box, do it. Do it like that. And I said, you can see why changing language and genres is so hard, LOL. And it just resonated with me because I happened to be studying this weekend, and then that happened real time. It was so serendipitous, right? That always happens to me. I tell you guys this all the time, right? It's such an interesting world. It's an interesting world. So what I'm here to encourage you guys to do is remember to expand that box, right? What would that be like? Expand this box and assume that we don't know everything. And that maybe what they're telling us about design and game design, well, maybe we're just taking really, really ineffective paths. And what would that be like and open up for you? There is a bigger conversation to have, right? And man, just going through all of this was so powerful that I could just send this now to anybody that thinks it's just consulting. No, consulting is a fruit of this tree. That is just a fruit. It's so much bigger than that. The result thing, that's the littlest thing that you will get. What would that be like? Imagine that part, the part that you're talking about, was the littlest thing that you would get out of it. That sounds like a powerful space to me. And the biggest thing you would get is you being empowered, feeling empowered, designing with confidence. That was a powerful space for me. It really got me like emotional this weekend reading through this stuff. I'm finally can see it. I have words for it. I can articulate it. I'm not crazy, even though people have been telling me, no. I'm not crazy. They're just not used to this space. So I want to encourage that person from Twitter Just pretend for a second that it wasn't somebody telling you what to do, or making your own game, because if you were to engage in conversation even for a second about your own design, that somehow someone's now taking it from you, what would that space be like? What breakthroughs would you have? I appreciate you guys letting me go through my creative process here. This was a really powerful moment for me this weekend. And so you could see how there is this new space, the Game Doctor work, and people are not used to it. They're going to try to fit it in these other boxes of what they're used to, which is very not effective. And I get that. Lessons from game development that you now use in everyday life. Oh my god, what's happening? I don't, it's not about the game design. I remember the things that we talk about, I always tell you applies everywhere in life. And I truly mean that. So I try to practice all the things that like I talk about. It's not about game design, right? It's about learning. It's about the process. It's about empathy. It's about understanding. It's about expanding that. It's about practicing that. It's about being daring. It's about being okay to be uncomfortable and stepping out anyway, like my goal was this weekend, right? It's about pushing yourself and giving yourself grace at the same time. So what do I practice in daily life? I practice like all of it. I stay hungry. I love the process of learning. It's not about getting somewhere. Now I know a lot about this. Now I'm there. Now I'm the best at it. It's not about that. It's about the process. I'm not trying to get anywhere. I'm trying to grow. Does that make sense? There is not a destination. There is a road, and I'm going to keep taking that road. And I want to encourage other people around me to take that road too. It's very exciting. I don't fully agree with this, and it's very hard to explain, but I'll do my best. This is how the market thinks, and this is very market brain. This is very market brain. We look at the numbers, right? I want to encourage you guys to look deeper, look at the culture, just feel. Just feel. Be around it. Be around the space. I want to remind you that we are something called a human being when we forget that. In the world today, and I promise you this, if you think deeper, you're going to realize that a lot of us think we're a human something. I'll repeat that. We forget that we are a human being. We're a being. Be. But we are convinced, we are used to, we are conditioned to think we are a human something. We are our follower accounts, where who respects us, who knows us, what we know. We are what we know. That's our worth. That's what we are. And we forget that we're just being. And so when we look at all this data and stuff, a lot of times I think this is why it leads us to dead ends, right? Oh, wow, look at these projects that have really good numbers, right? That must be what people want. They have really good numbers, right? And then we go on and try to make something in that and tackle those numbers, and we realize maybe people didn't want that, or maybe it just did really well when it was bad. How many times do you guys see in the movie industry, this movie makes so much money, so much, the advertising was good, we wanted to go see it, and it was just trash. Now, the numbers might have been very good, but it also might have been really terrible. And we shouldn't learn, like, we should probably learn not to do it, right? The numbers don't tell the whole story. You got to be around it, be the culture. None of my work here in these breakthroughs was because of some analytical numbers. It's the people that are important, the voices that are important, hearing people out when they don't have a voice or they're a number, right? And understanding these friction points that will then lead to different numbers. It is a fruit, it's a consequence, just like consulting. Your solution is the smallest part about what you will get with the Game Doctor work. Again, maybe the space will breed numbers, but the numbers are not the conduit for the space. Just for a second, what would that be like? If you didn't see my message earlier, I'd like to thank you for your craft. It is truly mind-opening in my case. I felt it transcended themes, since it was one of the many things that made me grow as a person. And I like to give credit when it's due. Dude, that means so freaking much to me, dude.